Hey class, it's Sadie. So for this week for our assignment, we were supposed to draw a construction worker, a scientist, and a nurse. And look, you can see I've been coloring. And talk about our drawings and who they are and what experiences we have with them. So the first one I have is my construction worker, and I made her a girl because that I was in the construction field until my current job, which now I work at Lowe's as their safety manager. But when I was in the construction field, I was a pipe fitter and had gotten tired of. Well, I didn't really get tired of pipe fitting because I still really enjoyed it, but I knew I eventually didn't want to be doing like back-breaking work my whole life, so that's why I started my journey into getting my master's in safety, so I could be a safety person. But back to my little person. So I gave her a hard hat right here and some safety glasses, and I gave her a vest. And even at the construction field that I worked in, we didn't always have to wear the vest unless we had someone that was like hole watching, fire watching, stuff like that. So but I just gave her a vest so I felt like it made her look more construction worker-y. Because like most construction workers, like you would see building houses or on the road, they normally have vests on. That way they can be easily visible to like drivers and stuff like that. But I worked in a refinery, and we didn't always have to be super visible to everyone because everyone at our job knew we were working in a like hazardous environment, and we didn't have like bystanders around. But so that's my little construction worker, and that's the experience I have with construction workers. And not only was I in that field, but my boyfriend and my dad and my brother, they all work in the construction field as well. So I've definitely grown up around it and been around it my whole entire life. So my next drawing, I did a little scientist guy, and I made him like a mad scientist. Because that's what I think of. I think of like kind of like more like Albert Einstein when I think of scientists. Even though I feel like they're real, like scientists now aren't really mad scientists. Like I'm sure there are a few, but I gave him the crazy hair and his lab coat, which I would say most scientists would wear lab coats, just like to protect from any chemical spills and stuff like that. And I gave him some cool mad scientist glasses things to protect his eyes. And then he has like the little vial of whatever he's working on. I personally don't really have any experience with scientists, except for when I was in high school. I took an experimental science class, and we did all kinds of cool experiments in there, and dissections and stuff like that. And no joke, my teacher legit looked like dressed like a mad scientist every single day because she just loved science, and Albert Einstein was her favorite scientist and everything, and she would legit dress up every day like a mad scientist. So that's kind of why I went with the mad scientist. But that's really the only experience I have is just high school in that one class. So for my last person, my nurse, I made my little girl. Excuse me. I gave her scrubs that all nurses wear. I gave her a little heart on her scrubs because she just loves her job and she loves taking care of people. And then I gave her a clipboard, so they'll have like the patient's charts and stuff on it. And then I gave her a stethoscope so she can check patient's heartbeat, and I even pulled her hair back in a little ponytail. That way it's out of her face while she's working with patients. So unfortunately, I actually have a lot of experience with nurses and doctors and all the medical field stuff. In 2018, so about 4 years ago, I was diagnosed with a thyroid condition called Graves' disease, and I had a hyperactive thyroid. So pretty much my thyroid was working super fast and way higher speed than it needed to be, and apparently your thyroid, which is like right here, goes straight to your pituitary gland, and it controls everything in your body, your hormones, and which also controls pretty much everything, but just everything, your eyesight, your heart, all your organs. It's crazy how one thing can change, like one thing being affected in your body can change everything else. So anyway, whenever we found out I had this, it literally looked like I had a giant softball sticking out of my throat, like it was so enlarged. And at the time, my doctor said it was the largest one he's ever seen. It was so large they could not go in and have surgery on it, because if they did, they would accidentally cut something else and it would like immediately kill me. So that's not scary at all. So instead of surgery, I had to go through radiation treatments, like kind of like chemo treatments like cancer patients would. I had to go through several rounds. Every time I had a treatment, I couldn't be around anyone for 2 weeks. And let me tell you, it's really lonely. I was shipped up to the attic in my house, pretty much, to live out those 2 weeks every time. And it sucked. But I just remember, the awesome nurses that I had during that experience and still have to deal with, because this is something I still deal with every day of my life. I have to go, in the beginning I had to go every 6 weeks. Now I get to go every 3 months and get blood work taken and get on new medication every time. So, even though this is not a curable disease, it's definitely manageable, and I couldn't do it without my awesome nurses. So, just to show y'all one more time, my nurse and my little mad scientist guy, and then my little construction worker lady. But anyway, I actually I actually enjoy drawing a lot. So I did kind of like this this discussion board. Sorry, it's been a very long week at work, and my brain at this point is almost mush. But anyway, I really enjoyed this discussion board and getting to draw, because I'm so busy I hardly ever get to do that anymore. So thanks a lot, Miss Brown. I appreciate it. And everyone else, have a good week.